Hello, good people of YouTube. Mountbatten here. And today, the day of the recording of this video, the 25th, we have just learned from the DevBlog that we are getting a new line of Japanese battleships. Something that I was pretty sure was going to happen in the future. Definitely with the way that they are going with all these splits and second lines and things like that. And sure enough, just like I predicted, this is a line of battle cruisers. Now, this is pretty interesting because if you do look at the Japanese battleship mainline right now, it's actually a mix of battleships and battle cruisers. Now, they haven't said for sure what's going to happen with these, if it's going to be a completely separate line, or if they're going to slot these in with the main line and maybe take the battleships out of the main line and make a proper Japanese battleship and then battle cruiser line, which I think they might be doing, but again, we don't know for sure just yet. But yep, we are getting some new Japanese battle cruisers, which are either going to be part of a split from, it looks like, Tier 7, or potentially a whole new line of battle cruisers, and then we'll probably get some new battleships in the mix as well. It's also pretty interesting if you look at the history of the Japanese battleships and battle cruisers. A lot of the battleships started out life as battle cruisers, but then were converted to battleships due to the Washington Naval Treaty. But let's go ahead and dive right on into this dev blog. So link to this will be in the description down below. I will throw any relevant images or artwork up as we go along. Again, if you want to check out the article for yourself, it is in the link down below in the description. Okay, so let's go ahead and get on into this dev blog. They say, new Japanese battleships closed test. In one of the future updates, we will add a second branch of Japanese battleships to the game. Currently, it's still in the early stages of development, but we want to share the first details now. We want to celebrate this line's upcoming release with a community camouflage contest. See more details here, take advantage of multiple in-game rewards, and remember that we will add the winning design to the game. We will add 3 new Tier 8 to 10 ships to the game: Yamahari, Adatara, and Bongo. The ships are battle cruisers playing at medium to long range and capable of dealing significant damage per salvo. The new Japanese ships will have powerful main battery guns with trademarked Japanese features, high firing range, and good accuracy. The main caliber is represented by 8 410mm guns at Tier 8. The Tier 9 and 10 ships feature 8 and 10 457mm guns, respectively. The ships also have good concealment and average speed. Their disadvantages are the low HP pool and mediocre armor. However, it's compensated for by the improved repair party, which restores more HP per second. Interesting that they said that that they have average speed. Battle cruisers tend to, of course, be fast. That's kind of their point. But I guess we'll see how that plays out in the future. Alright, so the first one, the Tier 8, the Yamahari. They say in 1916 to 1918, about 20 variants of the pre-design for the battleship Yamahari were developed as part of the 8-4 plan. The most elaborate was the B-62, which was an evolution of the Congo-class ships. It included 8 variants of ships with 4 double-gun main turrets. 2 ships of this type were intended to be built, but the project was changed at the end of 1917. A 5th turret was added. The final result was the Amagi-class battle cruisers. So this is an Amagi sans her 5th turret. Definitely looks like that. Now, what's really interesting in game is that we do actually have the Amagi-class battle cruiser and the Amagi-class battleship. Recently released a video on the key talking about the differences between the two. But the Amagi we have in-game is the battle cruiser design, and that's in the tech line at Tier 8. And then we have the key, which is the battleship, which is the premium of the two, and she is ironically weaker than Amagi when it comes to the armor, even though she's the battleship version. So yeah, funny that's how that worked out. But I guess this does throw a monkey wrench into my. They're going to make a separate line of battle cruisers and battleships because this is where the Yamagi would obviously go, unless they're going to make the Yamagi a premium coal ship or whatever, like they did with the GK and the Khabarovsk and the Moskva. But yeah, okay, so this is where the line would split. I'm assuming we'd go from tier 7 to the Yamahari. So from the Nagato to the Yamahari or the Amagi. Okay, so that's the tier 8. The tier 9, the Adatara. They say, after revisiting the 8-8 plan, Japan needed to build 4 battleships and 4 battlecruisers. The K variant was chosen to become a new battlecruiser out of the 13 ship variants proposed. 4 Type 13 ships were ordered, but they were never laid down because the Washington Conference started. There you go. So this looks like a bigger Amagi. I mean, yeah, you got the pagoda, you got the stack, you got the rear superstructure, and this is going to have 8 18-inch guns, 457mm guns at tier 9. That's quite a lot of oomph at tier 9. So obviously they're not 460, so they can't overmatch 32. But I mean that's a lot of power to have at tier 9. Like the Georgia has 6 of these guns. This thing's going to have 8 of them, so it's not going to be a fun day going up against this thing in a tier 7. Granted, with the way matchmaking is now, with super ships and such, tier 7s don't see tier 9s as much as they used to. So, okay. And obviously, these models are very early. I mean, this one's like slightly darker gray than the Yamahari's model. But then we get to the Bongo. They say, among the designs for the new fleet 8-8, there was an enlarged version of Project A, Project L. Like the Key, Project L had 5 main caliber turrets, but with 457mm guns, and also overcame the Key in terms of displacement by 9,000 tons. The battleship Key and Project L weren't built because of the Washington Conference, which imposed battleship holidays and a limit on the total tonnage of battleships. So this is essentially a Key or a Magi that ate its Wheaties. So 10 18-inch guns at tier 10. Man. Now, that's all they have to say in terms of the DevBlog. They don't have stats. They don't have anything. We don't know reload times. We know that they're going to have Japanese range and accuracy, which, yeah. So, speaking of Japanese accuracy in terms of, like, typically how much the shells fly around typically isn't too bad. It's the dispersion pattern that tends to screw with Japanese battleships. Because of their dispersion pattern, it's very wonky, it's not that great. Granted, these do very much follow the Japanese battleship formula from about tier 9 up. The formula is big guns or a lot of guns for their tier. So, like, definitely the Bongo. 10 18-inch guns at tier 10. That's a lot of guns. So, even though the dispersion isn't that great, you only need to land, you can land half of those shells, and you'll be doing pretty good damage. The Adatara at tier 9. Big guns, but a smallerish number. 8 guns for a tier 9 battleship isn't a lot, but they are, again, 457mm 18-inch guns. So, again, you can be landing half of those shells and be doing a good amount of damage at tier 9. The Yamahari, though, 8 16-inch guns at tier 8. That's not really a lot of guns by tier 8 standards. It's an okay amount. And they're not big guns by tier 8 standards. Most tier 8s have 16 or 15-inch guns. So, now, they are battle cruisers, so they could potentially give the Yamahari battle cruiser dispersion. Same with the Adatara and the Bongo, because they do have big guns, but again, the Adatara, not a ton of them. The Bongo does, but they have weak armor. They're going to have smaller HP pools. They're battle cruisers, not battleships, so that could definitely be compensated for in their durability. And again, I think it's weird that they say they have average speed, when since these are battle cruisers, these should have, you know, I would say at least a 34, 35, 36 knot top speed. As for the real life plans or anything, I'm not sure exactly what they had planned for these guys, but just again thinking about the other battle cruisers we have in game that can of course run down cruisers and such, they should be somewhere around there. I don't expect these guys to have great secondaries or anything like that, because again they say again plainly that they are following the typical Japanese battleship formula. No mention of torpedoes or anything like that, and just by perusing the models, I don't see any torpedoes on deck, and I don't see any torpedoes mounted in the hulls. So yeah, it sounds like these are going to focus primarily on the main battery guns, and if they do sacrifice again the durability, the speed, and the HP to get pretty accurate main battery guns, I think they'll do quite well. Wargaming has really been knocking it out of the park when it comes to this battlecruiser formula that they've developed. The German battlecruisers are a ton of fun. I love them. The British battlecruisers, ton of fun. Love them. The French battlecruisers, I love them. They've been knocking them out of the park here recently with this battlecruiser formula that they have. So we'll see if this carries on here with the Japanese battlecruisers. I'd like to think so. Again, I would just like more information on what exactly they mean by average speed and that. And of course, these are still very early on. I'm surprised they even have like a camo on the Bongo. I mean, it's still, you know, they're still working on it, obviously. But, I mean, yeah, this is some super early stuff. I'm excited. Again, I had a good feeling that these guys are going to be coming out, if not this year, probably next year. And I would like to know if they're going to, like, again, you know, make two separate lines. Are we going to get a line of just Japanese battleships, and then we're going to get a line of just battle cruisers, or is this just going to be a split? At the beginning right now, I think it sounds like this is going to be a split and not a full-on extra line like we've seen. So this would be the first of these battle cruisers that are just a split and not a full-on separate line, because the British battle cruisers are a full-on separate line, German battle cruisers are a full-on separate line. But yeah, but again, you could very easily make two separate lines of Japanese battleships and battle cruisers, and that's that. So guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. What you guys think about these battle cruisers that are coming out for Japan. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. One way to 50,000 subscribers. Thanks to you guys. And I cannot thank you guys enough for that. Hope you guys have a wonderful Friday. I will be live streaming right here tonight on the channel. It might be a little later tonight, probably 5:30, 6 o'clock-ish, but just make sure you guys come out for that. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Hope to catch you guys in the next one.